Right, thank you, Manuel. Thank you, everyone. So, it was a cold December night. My parents and I, we were standing in a long, long queue. This queue was over 100 people long. And in this queue, there were people from different ages, different professions. All of the groups in society were represented in that queue. Now, you might be wondering, Ivan, what were you waiting for? Well, we were waiting for the ATM. We were living in Belarus. You might know that I'm from Sweden, but I have Belarusian roots. We were living in Belarus, and we were waiting for the queue to get to the ATM and exchange our Belarusian rubles to dollars or euro. And this story, this issue, is seen all over the world. For example, in Venezuela and in other countries as well. In countries where poverty is induced by, number one, hyperinflation, and number two, corruption. You might recognize this image. This image is from the UN, and their number one global goal is to fight poverty. So, my name is Ivan. I'm a software developer from Sweden, and this is why I care about blockchain so much. This is why I'm passionate about the blockchain technology, because the blockchain technology has the power to change this around and to really fight poverty. I run the YouTube channel, Ivan on Tech, and this is what I do. I do blockchain. So today we're going to do a historic perspective. The crypto landscape of today is vast. We have many coins, many projects, but we are going to start from the beginning and take a look at the historic perspective. So let's start with Bitcoin. In 2008, a paper appeared on the internet. It was written by Satoshi Nakamoto. Nobody really knows who that is. It might be a person, it might be a group of people. We kind of have some ideas who that might be, but Bitcoin was published in 2008 as a paper, and this paper described Bitcoin as this peer-to-peer currency, no middleman. It's all transparent, everyone has a copy of the ledger, and this is where the real revolution in blockchain and cryptocurrencies started. And I have written a script here. This means that Bitcoin has its own scripting language. It's very limited. You can do basic logic. For example, we can have a transaction, and we might require two people signing that transaction. So just an example of very simple logic. And there was a man who wanted to improve that logic. He wanted to give Bitcoin a more fully-fledged programming language. That man is Vitalik. Many of you might know Vitalik if you are into the cryptocurrency sphere. Many of you might not know who that is. But Vitalik is the creator of Ethereum. And this is how Ethereum started. Vitalik was inspired by Bitcoin. He was inspired by this possibility to create applications on the blockchain, to program things on the blockchain, and he tried to pitch this idea to the Bitcoin community, basically telling them, guys, can we create this programming language so that Bitcoin can have a fully-fledged programming language? He did not get much support, and this is how Ethereum was created. And this is now the second most and the whole idea is that it is a platform for decentralized applications, so that anyone can write an application that runs in a decentralized manner. Much like Bitcoin runs in a decentralized manner, there is no middleman, there's no central entity. Vitalik had this vision to create a platform for any such application. And so, why do I tell you guys about Bitcoin and about Ethereum? Because this ties to my introduction. This ties to hyperinflation and corruption. Bitcoin has all the possibilities in the world to help people in countries with hyperinflation, when you don't know how much your value will be worth tomorrow. And Ethereum, with smart contracts, decentralized applications, has possibility to fight corruption. For example, in Sweden, we have our land registry being ported to the blockchain. This is an excellent way, this is an excellent use case of the blockchain technology, and I think this will only accelerate to more and more countries. So, moving on to 2017, the crypto space has really exploded with the introduction of Ethereum. Currently, we have over 1,000 different coins listed on CoinMarketCap. A lot has to do with the ERC20 standard. I will not get into the technical details, but basically on Ethereum, we can launch our own coins, our own projects, and this is one of the reasons why there are so many nowadays. And we have many different use cases. All of these different currencies, all of these different tokens do slightly different things. Some do governance, some do currency, some do privacy, some are their own platforms for decentralized applications, such as Lisk, such as Neo. And moving forward, I want to share, first of all, this graph with you. And this is the total amount of funding that was accumulated in ICOs. And here is May of 2016. Here is May of 2017. So as you can see, it's been an insane growth since then. Meaning that regulators and governments are starting to notice this. So this is a trend I think we will see in the future as well. These kinds of activities will be more and more regulated. And many of you might have heard the news about China and their new regulations. So this is one of the trends we might see going forward from 2017. And also I want to tie everything to corruption and hyperinflation once again. We see Sweden doing a lot of blockchain development. Other countries, such as Estonia, are also doing a lot of blockchain development. And in my view, blockchain will become a UN standard. This is where it is headed. Because public records, public information that should be public, there is no reason to not put it on the blockchain and to not make it transparent and accessible and immutable so that everyone can see that the data is valid and that it hasn't been messed around with. And so this is also a trend that I see going forward. So thank you everyone for listening. My name is Ivan, and for you guys watching live, you can see me in different cities, on different events going forward. I love the blockchain, and I will only continue speaking about it and spreading the knowledge.